Hello, I'm Alan Matthews from Classical Guitar Shed, and I have a question for you. When is the best time for you to practice your guitar each day? Do you know? Do you have a best time? Well, we're going to be talking about how to figure that out for yourself in just a second. If you enjoy this, please do subscribe to this channel. So before we talk about the absolute best time to practice your guitar, do know that any practice is wonderful. Even if it's at midnight, anytime that you can do it, if that's the only time that the kids are asleep and you're not working and you get off your night shift and it's 4 a.m. and you have to, go in and play really quietly in the attic, then that's great. That's the perfect time for you to practice then because that's the time that you can. So any practice is great. So we don't need perfection. We just need practice. So that said, we can optimize the time that we practice. So first off, we have to look at what times are actually possible. For me, a 4 a.m. practice is not possible. It's just impractical and it's not going to happen. I know that I won't keep that schedule. So there it is. If I knew I was going to, if maybe in a once in a while dire situation and I just had to practice and then I could do 4 a.m. But typically that's not going to happen. Likewise, late in the day, I'm personally tired, and so then it's harder for me to practice late in the day. I can not practice well anyway. I can just play songs, but actually getting my focus practice in, it's harder for me later most days. So the question is, when is it possible? When is it possible in your schedule? When is it possible with the situation? When will you be near your guitar and you can have it? And when can you have some time away? It could be that if you have an office, that you always have 11 to 12 with no meetings or no anything, and it's completely, you can close your door and practice in that time, and that's perfect. Other people are not going to have 11 to 12 possible. So the question is, what time is possible for you? Once we get to that point, then we can ask, well, when do I have the best energy and mental clarity? Is there a time whenever I'm at my best mentally and physically? And ideally, in a perfect world, that's the time to practice, so that we bring our best skills to something that's purely for ourselves, purely for our own benefit, instead of giving that energy to somebody else. Now, we could argue a bunch of points around that, but in a perfect world where you're just doing things that nourish yourself and spending your best energy there, then that would be a great time to do it. So if this means that first thing in the morning is when you're at your absolute best mentally and energetically, then that would be it. Then get up a little bit early if you need to, have a cup of coffee and practice your guitar before going about your day. Other people, it might be that they do much better after they've done everything, they clear everything off the plate, and then they can relax and know, okay, I've got everything done, now I can do this and really give myself to it. So you can observe yourself and find when your best energy and your best mental clarity is and practice then. Here's another thing to consider, and that is that a recurring schedule is ideal. Like, it's best if we can practice at the same time every day. Not everybody can, and it's not a deal breaker if you can't. But if you can practice at the same time every day, then you'll get that momentum and your mind will immediately go into that mode. Oftentimes we find this at work or if we're a public speaker in any way. As soon as you hit the stage, you just click into that mode, right? Other people that work with people one-on-one, whenever they get one-on-one, I know this is true for me, then you just get into, for me, teacher mode, where it could be doctor mode or counselor mode or whatever mode it happens to be. Whenever you do that, it's become an anchor, and so you just get right into that role in your head. So if you have a practice time recurring every day, then whenever you pick up your guitar, you'll be much more likely to just sink right into the right mindset and physical space of getting good practice in. Also, you should know it's okay to experiment. So if you can't get the recurring practice in, or if you just for any reason cannot practice whenever you're at your absolute mental peak for the day, then that's okay. You're free to experiment as much as you'd like to. You can try it one way for a while and then change it. It's okay. You might really like the novelty of something new, and that might energize you. So it might be nice for you to practice in the morning for a couple of weeks and then switch it to nights or whatever it is. And you can also, and this is something I very much advocate, is splitting your practice into two smaller practices so that you do a small one in the morning, then another one later in the day. or your regular practice and then one before bed, even if it's short, a short second practice, then it's a great way to do it as well. So those are just some ideas on how to pick the best time for you to practice. It's going to be different for us all. For most people, they're going to get the most bang for their buck in the morning, provided that it doesn't stress them out that they have too much to do in their day and that they're practicing in the morning. But the mental energy for most people on the planet is at their best in the morning rather than at night. But a lot of people are still night owls and have better energy at night. So whatever you are, ideally that's that. But the main thing is that you just practice, and any practice is good. All right, have fun, practice well. See you soon. Bye-bye.